so this is few things happened. First is welcome to the 2022, and so I would like to, for this, the first MAA after, let's say, our phase transition to a new development phase of NuNet. So we'd like to update, first of all, on the current and immediate developments, and second of all, not less importantly, on what we're doing and how we are preparing, or what we did in order to bootstrap and to facilitate our further platform development in the long term, and this year, first of all. And I hope to shed certain light on how we hope and we believe how this will influence the immediate and current developments, or this relates to immediate and current developments that we are seeing now. So first of all, the immediate and the current developments is, so first, as we published, as you saw in our blog post, we have opened the airdrop registration period, and the airdrops will be actually happening. So the claiming will start next week. Now the registration period is already open now, and please read our Medium blog post for the details of how that happens and all the links. Second thing that we just a few hours ago, maybe 1 hour ago, we have published a Medium blog post regarding staking pool updates. And the main thing is that, well, there are a few things, but please read the post for details. The airdrops, it will be, so people who will be receiving airdrops, or AGI holders, AGIX holders, which will be receiving airdrops, will be able to stake them directly to the staking pool. So these are the current and immediate developments. So yes, short update on that, and then I would like to sort of talk today about how we structure the NuNet platform development, and during that, I hope it will answer quite a few of your questions that we were seeing on our social media channels and things that you were participating and asking those questions. So yes, I will share my screen to show a few pictures in order to illustrate that. So what we were partly busy with, we were structuring what we're doing now is we are structuring the NuNet team and the operations of how we will carry on with the platform development and with a roadmap, which is published on our website. Now, the main thing that we are establishing is that the roadmap itself, while we are, so the platform has a number of features and number of sort of direction that we want to develop, which is pretty huge. Now, on the one hand, we are prioritizing those features the way we see the platform developing. On the other hand, we pretty early, sort of in the planning process, we realized that we have to connect the actual platform features, or the deep platform features, to the use case applications that are actually involve already users, without waiting until all the features are developed. So this is something that we were thinking in the beginning. And so we were structuring how exactly we will do that. So the general scheme that you should see on the screen is the general structure of the platform development is that the platform development itself, or the roadmap, is basically planned features, but we are prioritizing them according to the use cases that we enable to build to sort of connect to the platform as it is. So in this illustration, the blue line which is going up is basically development of the platform features itself. And the platform features, as we were conveying, and as we are thinking about them, they are application agnostic in a sense that everybody should be able to build the applications on the NuNet platform, meaning to sort of provide the computing resources to provide the AI, algorithms that will run on those computing resources and all the other sites, pretty much as possible independently from NuNet. So we will provide tools for that. However, in order for the platform to reach that place where people will be able to do that independently, or at least with a minimal support from the platform team, we need to develop platform itself based on certain use cases. So the spiral around the platform development illustrates that the way we will be doing it is that we will be attracting partners who will want to work with us in order to build certain specific applications. Let's say it this way, we call this use case integrations. So the whole platform development model is called, or we call it use case based development, which means we prioritize features that we need to implement on the platform, depending on what kind of use case integrations we already established with partners which want to develop something with us, and then we prioritize our platform features in order for this for particular use cases to already work on a platform, and then we search for another use case which can use certain features which are already sort of developed on the platform, plus we will develop features which are needed additionally for that specific use case integration. And this is how we structure the development of the NuNet platform, pretty much through the whole life. Well, it's difficult to say forever, but pretty much like this. It's not that it's a first step. This is how the platform will develop in the foreseeable future, based on use cases and on the requirements of the actual real needs of all the stakeholders which are participating in the multi-sided marketplace or multi-sided platform, which NuNet is, and particularly the ones who are needed for the specific use case integration. So to say it a little bit more, to show it. So basically these numbers, which are illustrated as a spiral, how do you call these steps, are use case integrations which we identify, which we structure, talking to our potential use case integration partners. We collect all the requirements in terms of what is needed to implement the platform, what is needed from other stakeholders. We organize this use case integration, and then we move iteratively, step by step, to build the platform until the state when the amount of features, or until the state where we'll reach basically our vision, which is explained in our white paper and other materials that are shared. So the numbers are use cases. Now, At certain point, we will start to develop many use case integrations in parallel. That depends on the scaling up our team, which we're doing right now. So just to, in terms of use case integrations, so we are working now, we can, in order to make it a slightly more, let's say, concrete, we can look at our early MVP, which is, and also showcase application as certain use cases which we built, that NuNet team built ourselves, because we were in a state where we were not, that was not a phase where we were able to attract external use case integration partners. So in terms of these use cases, so if you remember, we had the first MVP, which was released in 2022, I think November. It was a doc demo web application which was running, which was using the SingularityNET AI services. Well, we call it NuNet doc demo now, but it was basically from the picture, it was detecting object and figuring out whether it's a doc or not, and trying to figure out what is the breed of a doc. So this was an MVP. Now the fake news warning application, showcase applications, which we built on private alpha, it was actually an application which was running on the platform which we are now building on this this blue line, let's say somewhere below the first cycle. Sort of illustrates the point where we are now with the fake news warning application. Now our plans with, first of all, with fake news warning showcase application is that we want to find partners, whoever, teams which are not the NuNet core, partners which would be interested in developing this particular application further in terms of AI, in terms of integration, in terms of use cases, in terms of attracting users for that application. The same applies to doc demo, but doc demo is MVP, so maybe it doesn't need to go that in terms of to go there. But in terms of fake news warning application, we want to find anybody who's interested to take this from NuNet and develop it further as a business case, as an application, and to take care of the AI side of it. Because what will NuNet will do? NuNet will enable the platform, additional platform features that are needed for the fake news warning application to develop to the state where, whatever would be needed for the use case integration partners for this application to meet their business needs. And we will, so in terms of the code, it's all open source. However, we can say that we will give this code to the team, which will let's say, will not only want, but also be able to move this application further. What NuNet is interested is to develop the platform, application agnostic platform features, which will be useful for everybody who wants to build a platform based on those use cases and based on those requirements which we can identify right now. So in terms of what we built until let's say now, until the private alpha phase, in terms of the applications, we are looking for the partners to develop those applications and to work with us. And we will be concentrating on the platform development. Now, the second use case integration example that we are already working on is, as already was talking, is running Cardano nodes on the NuNet via the NuNet platform. So this is something that we're already working on, and we have submitted the Catalyst Fund 7 application for adapting this infrastructure of running Cardano nodes on all 3 layers for running the stake pool adjusting this, implementing the Cardano stake pool operator, to enable them to run the stake pools on the NuNet platform. So yes, so this is the basically another potential. Well, we are already building certain framework for that, and depending on the results of Catalyst Fund 7 voting, we'll see how we will be able to extend it, and we hope very much that we will, according to the current situation that we're seeing. And yeah, the results of what we're seeing with the proposal. And then we have others, we started collecting other potential use case integrations, including building use cases which already need GPU power, so that we can enable people with the GPU clusters, let's say, to connect to NuNet and already have the other sides of the platform for getting calls. So first, as I said, we're looking for the partners for all of these and upcoming, let's say, use case integrations. Basically, in the point 3, which is mentioned. So others means we are looking for also ideas, and we are prioritizing those ideas. We are talking to people who sort of submitted those ideas in order to specify what can we do already now, what kind of things we can prioritize on the platform level, so that to enable those use cases to work, and what kind of things we may have to postpone until later stages of the platform, so that we can sort of provide those use cases. What is important about this model is that, so here we have a, let's say, this is a, consider this is a single use case integration. So one cycle of this one, let's say, yeah, one round of the spiral. Basically, yes, it looks like this, meaning that what we want to have with use case integration, since the platform is basically middle layer between the sides of the multi-sided platform. And those sides, potentially those sides are compute providers, of course. This is our main stakeholder or constituent. Data providers, AI developers, which are currently through the SingularityNET. Then application developers, which will develop the application that will run on the computers, which will run via NuNet. And of course, AI developers or developers which will build AI services that applications actually will use. And then we have consumers, which will use those applications. So now, if we want, so the compute providers will be able to, will be compensated for their compute resources when we have use cases which already connect all the, I mean, enough number of these constituents so that we can build value flows, so that value flows will be, will be running through the NuNet platform. So NuNet platform, basically, it enables to connect this. So this would be the one of the kind of, I can say this a little bit in advance. This is sort of an answer how we are going to enable compute providers to be compensated. Because in order for the compute providers to be compensated on the mainnet of the platform, we need to have users. So the users and applications which are running, which will be running on them. Therefore, all this model of the use case based development, so that we are not only developing platform features like security or like speed or others, but we also connect to, from the very beginning, we find out application developers and ways to already build workflows which are already running in the early phases. And then we will build more and more complex features on the platform so that we will enable broader range of the users. And in this way, this is a long-term plan or strategy to build up the demand for the platform services, and also, of course, for the utility token to be used on the platform. So from these use cases, what we are doing next is that we prioritize the roadmap features. And the roadmap is actually already, I mean, we made all the roadmap on the Apache Jira public issue queue. So this is basically available for everybody to view and available for people who will register to actually make comments or provide feature requests, bug reports, and eventually pull requests to the code base. But so the idea is that we are prioritizing the platform features based on the use cases which we will identify and specify and decide to do at a certain point. We will be prioritizing the features in the roadmap, and then we will be putting them into the backlog and then moving them through our development process. First, we will be testing them on the testnet with all the constituents of the platform which will want to participate in our testnet and development phase, and then gradually, whether it's through the one testnet or few testnets, we will move that into mainnet, and when it will come into the place where it will be possible to push it to the mainnet, that means that these features will be ready to use on let's say production release, meaning that this will enable actual use cases or use case integration with all the constituents around which actual value flows through the NuNet platform to run on the mainnet. And then basically this is how the whole platform will move. And then we gradually, as I said, will increase the usage of the utility token and the demand for the utility token. So based on that, we are building we are hiring people, or we are building a team, and the team will pretty much expand, and we pretty much know for what kind of things we will be looking for the colleagues. So, and this results in this. So I guess I mentioned, but basically you can read the blog post published, I think, last week this week, about all this, so you can read maybe in detail. Then this results with basically this model where everything that is inside the blue lines, basically everything that is inside the blue lines and also shaded in blue, these are something that the NuNet core team is concentrating. Everything that is outside, which means the platform constituents, computer providers, data providers, AI developers, consumers, and application developers. This is what we are launching the use case integration partnership program, which we are looking for the partners to take care of the business cases and the AI development that are needed for those business cases. So we will do this via partnerships, and we'll build the use case integrations based on that. So this is what we want. I mean, this is where our sort of the goal of the strategy, and then the lines inside the platform is the actual value flows that we will build based on each use case, and we will sort of improve we will increase the capabilities on the platform based by that iteratively. And then, so in summary, basically right now, we based on all this structure that we built, we're looking for the developers, or we're looking for the partners in terms of developing the platform itself, core platform. We are also starting up the community developer program, which what I mentioned in terms of that we are putting all our development. It was already online and public, but we are moving this now to another platform, which is Apache Jira, and we will enable people who will be able to also develop the platform features to do that on our code base, and to provide pull requests so that we can integrate them and test them, these pull requests. So that is on the and we're building our team based on that, on the scheme that I presented. Now, another thing, as I already also said, is that we are looking for partners in order to build use case integrations for the ideas, and not only ideas, but also, I mean, business and technical ideas of people who, or teams who see the opportunity or potential for NuNet to be useful for that, for those ideas and business cases. So we're looking for partners in terms of use case integrations. We also will be doing platform integrations, which is slightly different in the sense that as we were planning and we were saying, is that we will be integrating other platforms into NuNet, for example, data tokenization platforms, other computing frameworks. I mean, the ones who can actually provide the computing through decentralized and non-decentralized frameworks, data storage frameworks, security solutions, decentralized identity solutions, and things like this. So we will prioritize those ones, and we will integrate them into the platform. So those ones doesn't need to be related to the use case. However, the idea is that as much as possible, we will prioritize everything based on use case integration, because what it gives to us the ability to already build value flows through the NuNet from the application first of all, from the application customers, through the application developers, down to the compute providers. And yes, so this provides us, all the structure provides us to ability to reach the point where we'll be able, when compute providers will be able to be compensated from the actual customers of the compute power, without waiting until, let's say, without waiting too long, meaning in the early phases of our development. And then, well, this is a concrete question, which relates to things that I presented, and this is something that we were seeing a lot in our social channels. Is when is public alpha? So as you remember, public alpha combines three aspects compared to private alpha. One is NTX token gateway, so that basically people would be able to compensate with launched NTX token to the compute providers. Another one is NTX to AGI-X gateway, which will enable the AI services themselves, which run on SingularityNET AI platform, to compensate for the compute power on which they run directly to the compute providers. And the third aspect was community developer program. So as I said, with the community developer program, we're launching it now, and we are sort of trying to structure it and to integrated into the structure that I presented. With other two, so here's the thing. This is one of the reasons why this structure of use case based development is that in order for the compute providers or for data providers or basically for all the constituents of NuNet platform, in order for them to get compensated with the tokens, somebody has to basically pay those tokens, or there should be value already created, and that value should be created by the use cases or the applications. So we will build the NTX gateway and the NTX to AGX gateway are the features which we will build soon enough. Right now we are working on them. However, in order for the actual contributions to happen, we need to enable, well, these features will enable, but we need to make sure and to sort of attract actual users. That is exactly why we are launching and why we're taking so much sort of care of building the actual use cases very early in the platform development. So basically, when we have this, when we have the first use case which attracts the customers outside NuNet platform as a business case, then the whole bootstrapping, let's say this, how is it called? Action development spiral will bootstrap itself, and based on that, we will be getting more and more use case integrations and the demand for the utility token and basically the amount of the transactions in the platform. So, and that was the summary what I wanted to present in terms of or to convey in terms of NuNet platform development model and the basis of how we are developing it. So I'm very excited about this particular thing, and I think this will enable us to provide not only long-term development and to achieve our vision, not only long-term vision, but also achieve certain, let's say, connect this long-term vision to the immediate goals and to the developments pretty much closer to now in terms of, I mean, this year, this quarter, next quarter, and the like. So here is the overview of the platform development model, and I think now I will switch to your questions. Aha, so before that, I almost forgot. So one thing that we just started is that we are publishing. We started to publish to sort of to do daily technical tweets, meaning that we are almost every day. The tech team just makes a tweet or makes about what is going on the development level, and we will be trying to do this, I mean, every day, so that you could feel the pulse of what is going on in the development team, and we're also connecting those messages to basically Jira issues, so that if you would like to follow the development on that level, you could sort of find it out very quickly and participate. And another thing that I already mentioned, please vote on our Catalyst Fund 7 proposal regarding Cardano nodes for the stake pool operators, and that is already open, and you can do this via Catalyst application. So as I said, this is our one of the potential use case integration models, which we're looking very we're looking forward to implement it and to start the use of the platform already in the early phase. So you can check our Twitter feeds to see what are the developments also related to that on the technical level. Now, going to the questions of that you asked before the M&A. So yeah, some of them were already covered a little bit during this sort of overview of our platform development model. But nevertheless, so hello Kabir, I'm a big fan of the project and SingularityNET's ecosystem overall. Appreciate it. So thank you for what you're doing. Even though it's quite clear on surface, could you please elaborate on NuNet use cases in more details? Particularly interested to hear your vision from following perspective. Which use cases will be fastest and easiest technically to achieve? Which are most challenging or tough most to achieve? And which use cases will be most community impactful, say fast user-based growth? Once NuNet is there with them, how focus will be spread among all of us? So yeah, as I said, this is precisely the questions that we were addressing when we were structuring the platform development model in terms of the use case integrations. And so while we have all kind of considerations of what use cases will be, let's say, closest to from the technical point, of course, we can prioritize which use cases we can implement faster. But this is precisely why we are building this use case integration partnership program, in order to ask the community or to ask the owners of the business cases of these use cases to provide us, to work with us in order to identify what we can build now, because it's not only, let's say, market research, it's also it's related to people who will want to work on that and who will build this solution with us. So we can have a general understanding of what kind of use cases or use case classes we can build in right now. But as I said, it's also, let's say, it's a soft process. We need to talk and we need to identify what are the interests and what are the teams already out there which can build something, either based on what's already being done now, or maybe structure a new proposal, and then maybe we can find somehow help together to sort of get into SingularityNET ecosystem to develop this from let's say all the perspectives. So I can. Yes, so there are let's say platform aspects. So of course, connecting the first of all, what will be what is most kind of, it's not, I cannot say that it's easiest, but let's say the closest technically use case integrations are the open source based, where there is no need to protect IP rights of the code that's running on NuNet, and there is no need to, let's say, hide away things, and there is no need to encrypt to sort of ensure encryption of data, which means that when we will be working with open data. when there is no need to, let's say, do homomorphic of, well, I mean, there's no need to hide data from the compute devices. So I guess these use cases, at least from the technical perspective, this will be the most straightforward. The probably use cases which will be further in line are the ones which will need data streaming and stream processing on the NuNet platform. This is something that we plan a little bit later to implement. It will need quite a bit of platform, sort of platform features. There is another aspect of the platform. So the thing is that we are not developing this in terms of, okay, we take one aspect and we'll just build it from A to Z. This is exactly why we are building all this use case integrations iteratively, that we will take, let's say, the aspect of the big aspect of the platform is what we call pseudonymous identity management system, which means that we will be building ability to identify each algorithm, or each machine will have a unique identifiers, which will not reveal the actual identities of people who are running those machines. However, those machines will have to be identified in order for the NuNet platform to route the payments or the contributions and tokens, and also to build the reputation system of machines and AI services and algorithms and data providers. So we will be building this identification system. Not all of the use cases need this. And so reputation system for sure that it will need that. But some use cases will not need that, and this is pretty much why the spiral becomes bigger when it grows. That we are starting through the use cases which do not need those advanced features. However, they can already provide the actual usage of the platform from the application users and application providers. So yes, so that is basically the answer to this question. I think it's clear that we're looking to the answers to this kind of questions in a kind of strategic manner, meaning how we are going to think about each case, and we're building a structure how we will move forward. Yes, so let's say things like providing GPU power, for example, or enabling more like other operating systems to connect to NuNet. I think this is early use cases or early integrations, let's say. Now, whatever use cases will be needed for that is sort of another question. Now, in terms of the, let's say, more exotic machines, it may be more problematic. Problematic in the sense of it may need more technical, sort of more development, and it may come a little bit later in the development process. For example, wearables, which may not be able to run the containers that we know now, which means that we will have to build the containerization and the container deployment or the workflow deployment procedures, which go beyond what we have existing in the containerization, let's say, framework market and the framework that we're using. So we'll have to extend that. So that was the answer to this question. I hope that is informative enough. Now there is one very concrete question. I would like to know if I'm holding AGI tokens. I would like to know if I am holding AGI X tokens on Binance. So I assume this is a statement rather than a question. Will I be able to get the airdrop? And if yes, then where will I get the tokens? If no, then do you have any plans to reward us in any other way? So the answer to the first question is that no, we will not be doing airdrops for people who will hold balances on the Binance, because that's not technically possible to identify actual users. So we will not do airdrop to any exchange balances. So we are doing airdrops only, and yes, so now, if no, then the plans are that we will be doing airdrops only for the balances of AGX, which are on private wallets, which are staked from the private wallets, and others which you could check on our blog post about the airdrops. But so no, we are not doing airdrops to exchanges. And if you would like to get an airdrop, you have to take this balance from the Binance and put on those eligible wallets that we listed in our blog post. So first of all, it's private wallet. So that would be the answer. And if you do this for the second airdrop, you will be eligible for the second airdrop, but you will not be eligible for the last airdrop, which will happen in somewhere at the end of this year, because for that we will be checking that, I mean, all the snapshots since December 5 will have to show that this is an eligible wallet. So that would be the answer to this question. But please read our blog post about the airdrop schedule for the whole year, so that you could see all the details there. Will there be limits on the age of computer CPU RAM with the public alpha? Will NuNet calculate based purely on CPU megahertz and RAM amount, or will it be able to calculate the extra performance, quicker RAM and newer CPU? Yes. So NuNet will enable different abilities to do this. So first of all, the most granular ways to, let's say, to compensate the compute providers, basically the base case is that NuNet will enable to compensate compute providers based on actual use of the compute power, which means that we will, through the telemetry API, we will be returning to the caller the amount of the both CPU RAM and other of disk which was used. Actually, we are doing that on the private alpha, and we were even doing that on the MVP. So if you check those two, you can see that we are returning the precise amount of compute resources that were used for running certain call on certain service on NuNet, and we will be able to price or to sort of to price the compute resources based on actual usage. It doesn't prevent to have other pricing and compensation methods, let's say subscription or based on the amount of compute resources. However, from the NuNet perspective, we would like to get into the place where we will compensate based on actual usage, because, as I said, we will enable people to put the compute resources, and we will enable people to build the applications, but then the actual value flows depend on the actual usage of those applications. So extra performance, yes, in terms of basically what NuNet will enable. NuNet will enable to share any metadata about and this is what's the crux of what's called computational reflection, or the addition to the computational reflection, that we will enable any soft parameters on top of the RAM, CPU, and let's say disk space. Means that we also calculate time, and again, both in the private alpha and also in the dog demo, which is MVP, we already did that. So we have a calculation of time. Now, how much people will want to pay extra for the time? It actually depends on the use case. So we will enable this information to pass through the network, but the premium that people will pay for the time, it depends on the use case and on people which will be paying. So this is a general approach. But the reputation system that we will build on top of all those telemetry data will take into account these things. And furthermore, it will also take into account preferences of both application developers who are running AI developers, so yes, algorithm developers who will be running the algorithms on via NuNet, and the compute providers which will provide the compute resources, so that, for example, in the now currently implemented Cardano, passive Cardano node solution that runs on private alpha. So people who are putting the machines on NuNet platform have ability to say whether they are okay, whether they would like to run passive Cardano nodes. And then the platform figures out, sort of deploys passive Cardano node on not only based on the amount of the compute power that this particular let's say machine has, but also whether this the owner of this machine chose to run Cardano node. And this can be extended, basically, it's open-ended. We do not define on the NuNet level which will be the categories. These are the users of, let's say, machines. We'll define these things, what kind of preferences they have, and we will take care that algorithms and machines will sort of match, will match, find and match each other based on those preferences, both hard preferences and soft preferences. And as I said, based on that, we will build the ability to, well, first of all, we'll build a reputation system, and reputation system will be based on reputation API, so which means that we will enable people to build a reputation system, which will take into account all this information. Why compute providers haven't been getting many jobs on private alpha? And the reasons are two. One is that we, so let's say in terms of the way compute providers are getting compute jobs on the platform is through the users sort of giving calls to the platform. And the reason, there could be two reasons. Well, many reasons, but let's talk about a few. So one reason is that there are no calls to the platform, and therefore no calls are routed to the compute providers. Another one is that these compute providers do not satisfy the hard requirements of RAM and CPU that are needed for the algorithms to run. I believe that this question is related to the fake news warning application. And I would say that in this case, so this is exactly why we're looking for the partner which will develop this application further, so that it can get actual users and integrate this, whether it's browser extension or whatever form this partner would like to take this use case forward, in order to provide actual use cases, actual calls to the NuNet platform, which technically it's possible to do right now. Actually, we have to integrate all the let's say constituents of this use case in order for this value flows to flow through the NuNet network. So these are the few reasons, and yeah, so this pretty much exactly because of that we built all the structure of use case based development in order to bootstrap these use cases. Now, yes, we are considering, and we will consider it from the very beginning, that we will be providing solutions, and we are thinking how to provide those solutions for people who are providing compute power to the testnet, which doesn't include the actual applications running them. How do we compensate that from using the mining rewards and solutions, the mining rewards which we have reserved in the token supply. And this is this structure is in the making. So what are we going to do with the fake news warning application? I just said this, not just, but pretty much in the beginning. We are looking for the partners which would be willing to take this code and develop it further from the business case perspective and to work with us so that we can build the features that are needed for the platform in order for this application to get real, let's say, real users from the customer's perspective, so that it can that the value flows can flow and reach the compute providers and maybe data storage providers, depending on what kind of how this use case will be developed further. So that's exactly what we are not only going to do, but this is what we're doing with fake news warning application. We're also using it for our certain features on the platform, certain integration features within the platform. But that's let's see, it's not related. How to onboard more devices? Basically, what we are doing, one of the let's say epics in our roadmap is we are developing. So right now we in the private alpha we have a script which helps people to onboard the devices on NuNet. We are turning this script into the basically application with UI and so let's call it web application. But we are thinking to enable this web application to also to run locally. So yes, and that will help to onboard devices in a more easy way, let's say, and also to manage those devices. And then another part of this application, what we are planning is to have the management of the AI services and the algorithms that will be running on NuNet, so that people or application developers will be able to detect how much compute powers they were using pretty much in real time, and let's say how many calls were done to NuNet, and basically what are the amounts of the value that was contributed from the application side to the compute provider, so to the data side. So you can check those things on on our public Jira issue queue. There are epics formulated there. This what I'm mentioning, the Jira queue. It's a living, let's say, entity in the sense that we are upgrading it all the time, and we are looking forward also to your comments and to your contributions also on that level. So how centralized NuNet really is? Well, I would ask the question how decentralized NuNet really is, but it's let's say it's another. In terms of the vision, so there are two aspects to this question. One is what we want to build, and the other question, how are we building iterative solutions, technical solutions, so that we can enable already those use cases to run. Period. So in terms of the first one, this is vision and what we want to achieve, we are designing the architecture of a completely decentralized platform without any centralized component. Now, what does it mean, centralized component? Centralized component is a component that we will fully have control. So, for example, reputation system. We will, in the beginning, I started from the vision, yes. So we want, our main goal is to build the reputation API, which will be used by reputation systems. We would like to attract, at certain point in the future, we would like to attract, and we hope that we will, other people, other teams to build a reputation system based on this reputation API and SDKs that we will build for that, which means we will promote different reputation systems to run on a NuNet platform and users to be able to choose whichever they want. So we will be also democratizing actual platform features as much as possible, or platform components, what we called in the white paper network operating agents. And then there are other platform features. For example, if you looked closely at the private alpha presentation, we have quite a few components within the platform which are technically centralized, meaning, for example, global orchestrator. Right now we're running it on a single server. However, we have already a solution of decentralizing it into the distributed hash table, which will run on each agent, on each NuNet adapter, on the decentralized framework, which completely decentralizes. So we both will not have a centralized component. And that is the answer to the second question. So in order to enable certain use cases, in order to enable those value flows, which is important, and in order to sort of bootstrap the action development spiral, we are forced to build certain technical parts first in a centralized manner. But when we're building this in a centralized manner, we already have an idea how we are going to decentralize them, also on a technical level, so that we can sort of decentralize that, as I just mentioned, in terms of what we call global orchestrator. So how centralized NuNet is, that's kind of a question. I mean, not a question, that's kind of an answer, is that the conceptual architecture is completely decentralized. Now, we may be forced to build certain centralized components as we go in order to enable the early usage of the platform so that we can enable already value flows and customers to work with them. Because it is known that very often centralized solutions are easier to build because this is something that the software world is used to. And when we have to build a decentralized solution for that, we have to make an extra mile for that. And we are making those extra miles, and we will be making them, but in order, again, to repeat myself, in order to make the sort of enable value flows within the platform already now, and to enable compute providers and data providers and data sources and all the constituents of the platform to already be compensated in early stages, we from time to time, we're doing compromises to start building, let's say, the platform using centralized solutions and to decentralize them as we go. And I think that would be the last question, or the last answer to the question. So again, happy to get back talking to you again this year, and most of the luck in 2022 and further, and looking forward. Thanks a lot. Bye.